Vacuum ejectors are used for pick-and-place transfer of a variety of materials including cardboard boxes, tin panels, and small components such as IC chips. This is a vacuum ejector fitted with a pressure switch. These are the vacuum pads. And this is the workpiece to be picked up and transferred. Vacuum ejector operates on the Bernoulli's principle that demonstrates a pressure drop when airflow velocity is increased by a restricted orifice within a pipe. This creates a suction through an orifice at this point. Let's look at the animation. This is the nozzle and diffuser. This is the vacuum port for connecting a vacuum pad. Compressed air is supplied at the input port and exhausted through the exhaust port. This is the suction flow. Single-stage vacuum ejector consists of a single nozzle and diffuser. This picture shows a single-stage vacuum ejector with a high vacuum pressure but low vacuum flow rate. Single-stage vacuum ejector is used with one vacuum pad. This picture shows a single-stage vacuum ejector with a wider diameter of nozzle and diffuser than the previous vacuum ejector. With a wider diameter, vacuum flow rate increases while vacuum pressure drops. This shows that single-stage vacuum ejectors are designed for either high vacuum pressure or high vacuum flow rate, but not both. Let's look at the animation of a single-stage vacuum ejector. This is the nozzle. And this is the diffuser. But my application requires high vacuum pressure to ensure high lifting force and high flow rate for fast pickup. What should I do? Fret not, SMC has the answer and solution. Introducing SMC two-stage vacuum ejector. In a two-stage vacuum ejector, the first stage creates a high vacuum pressure while the second stage creates high vacuum flow rate. The second stage is not a second nozzle but two diffusers with different inner diameter. Up to 2 vacuum pads can be used with a two-stage vacuum ejector. Let's look at the animation of a two-stage vacuum ejector. This is the nozzle and the first diffuser and second diffuser. Both diffusers have different inner diameter. This is the vacuum port to connect a vacuum pad. compressed air is supplied at this port and exhaust through this exhaust port. Conventional vacuum injector consumes compressed air continuously during suction of workpiece. Is there a vacuum injector that does not consume air during the suction of workpiece? Yes, there is. Really? This must be an amazing product. Quick, show me. Introducing the SMC 2-stage energy-saving vacuum injector series ZK2. Introducing the SMC energy-saving vacuum injector series ZK2. This vacuum injector uses a digital pressure switch with energy-saving function. This function reduces air consumption by 90% or more. Wow, this translates to big cost savings. How is this achieved? How does the vacuum injector series ZK2 saves energy? Tell me. To understand how the energy-saving function works, look at the blue line on the graph. Here, vacuum is generated. When the vacuum pressure reaches the set pressure, P1, the pressure switch turns off the supply valve. Vacuum is maintained. When the vacuum pressure decreases from P1 by the amount of H2, the pressure switch turns on the supply valve and automatically controls it to maintain the vacuum pressure. This graph shows the accumulated air consumption of a conventional vacuum injector and the ZK2 vacuum injector with energy-saving switch. The gray line represents a conventional vacuum injector. The blue line represents the ZK2 vacuum injector. Let's look at the signal here. During the suction of workpiece, the supply valve is off. Hence, there is no air consumption. A conventional vacuum injector, on the other hand, keeps consuming air during suction of workpiece. This graph shows that the ZK2 vacuum injector consumes much less air than a conventional vacuum injector. For larger suction flow and for use with more than 2 vacuum pads, use SMC 3-stage vacuum ejector. The 3-stage vacuum injector consists of a nozzle and 3 diffusers with different inner diameter. This unique design increased suction flow rate by 250% and reduced air consumption by 20%. Introducing the SMC 3-stage energy-saving vacuum injector series ZL. This is the SMC 3-stage vacuum injector series ZL. This vacuum injector is fitted with a digital vacuum pressure switch. This port is for the compressed air supply. This is the vacuum port for connecting the vacuum pads. The Series ZL has 2 variations. Series ZL212 has diffusers stacked and integrated to achieve twice the flow rate of ZL112 in a compact body. Remember, use series ZK2 for up to 2 vacuum pads and energy saving. For larger workpiece that requires more than 2 vacuum pads and for energy saving, use series ZL.